So, have you ever been playing a game and you thought to yourself, I wonder what it would be like to actually be in this game? I used to have this feeling a lot growing up, and so that got me feeling nostalgic, like every millennial to ever exist. And I was thinking about when times were simpler, when I got my first GameCube, when I first got my first Nintendo DS, or even first Game Boy. And I was really thinking about playing Mario of all things. And just as I was thinking about this, I watched one of my cats jump from one cabinet to another, and it was like a light bulb moment went off. Because cats essentially play Mario in real life, they just don't know it yet. I would like to take the next 45 seconds to introduce you to my cats. Meet Beerus and Wednesday. Beerus mostly likes to keep to himself, and he likes to hide in almost anything. He's scared of most things, but mostly the Roomba, and if he's not sleeping, he's usually trying to find something to eat. Now, Wednesday, on the other hand, is a very curious cat, and she loves to explore new things. If Beerus is the type of cat to sit in my lap while I'm doing something, Wednesday's actively trying to participate in that activity. She loves to follow me around and likes to see what I'm doing at all times. She's gotten very good at capturing lizards on our patio, and she likes to proudly display them for us. Very cute. Now, Bean and Miss Adams do have one thing in common. They love to destroy their cat tower, scratching post, and you guessed it, our furniture. Now, I've seen a lot of cat furniture on the internet, which is really cool. They've got a lot of these shelves which blend into the art of the wall, and they look like they're supposed to be there. But what if I could combine my love for Mario and these cat shelves? Whenever I have an idea like this, I like to make a sketch to remember this concept. Okay, so I have the idea, and I have the sketch, but now I have a problem. Well, I have the first of many problems, and that being that I don't actually have the tools and the skills to take this idea and turn it into a tangible product. So, in the past, anytime I've had a wild or crazy vision or idea, I like to call up one person, and that person's my dad. You see, we've actually built a lot of things together, and I'll put some pictures here, because it makes me very happy to look back on them. And I didn't get to record those, so I think it'd be fun to just let you see them. Alright, this brings me to problem number 2. And that being that my dad actually lives about 1,200 miles away from me in New York. So, what I end up doing is I send him a text of the sketch, and he reluctantly approves to build it with me. So I take my vacation time, and I book a trip, and I'm going to New York. Hey there. Hey. Do you see this? Yeah. This used to scare me. Frighten me. Oh my god, it was so scary growing up. I used to sprint up these stairs. That's all. That's it. Okay. Goodbye. As you can see, the workshop itself isn't that scary. So anyway, we decided to forage around the workshop to find any scraps of wood, and we essentially just started cutting to build a prototype. And because we definitely did a lot of forethought, and we planned this, you can tell that everything ran really smoothly. Welcome to the blueprint. Step number 1. First, you're going to make 2 identical panels, the front and the back panel, and you're going to build a wooden frame to go around it. Now, this is going to provide structural support for the rest of the brick. Step number 2. Next, you're going to cut out 4 identical squares that will serve as the top, bottom, and both sides of our box. Step number 3. Now, this is one of the most important steps, because when you're going to go glue and nail all the pieces together, you're going to make sure that you take your back piece and shift it slightly inward. That way, when you go to hang it up, it sits nice and flush against the wall. So let me give you a visual. This is our box with every single piece except for the back. You're going to make sure that the back piece that you created sits like this. Okay, so you may be asking, why did we do this? Great question. It's because this makes room for the cleat. And the cleat is what we're going to be using to actually hang our brick onto the wall. Again, if you do this step correctly, you actually will have no gaps between your brick that we just made and the wall itself. It will sit nice and flush. Then you can just finish the project and it should look something like this. So then we decided to reward ourselves by seeing Top Gun and taking a break. Oh, by the way, this is Loki, one of my parents' 2 dogs. He'll be making many appearances throughout this series, and the main thing you need to know about him is he's obsessed with tennis balls, and he'll force you to spend your entire trip throwing them to him. Here's my dad already leaving me behind in the parking lot of Home Depot. This will later foreshadow how he turned down one of the aisles and I could not find him for 45 minutes. I legitimately thought he left me there. But I did eventually find him, and we got the additional wood that we needed. With the addition of the new wood, we were able to finish the remaining walls and clamp it together overnight. Like I said in the intro, this project is part vacation, part work. One of my favorite things to do is go mini golfing. There's a local gem of a course near my house and it's stunning and usually not too crowded. You can buy food for the koi fish and feed them as you go throughout the course. This is actually a really close game for everyone except for my sister. I really just want you to witness this wonderful clip that I got. It is okay because she ended up doing just fine after the fact. It's also nice to spend the morning outside, taking all the views and soak up some vitamin D before, you guessed it, we go back into the basement. Here's where we left off on the brick. It's now dry and ready to be sanded. Once all that was finished, I had asked my dad to help me round up the corner. It'll just make it a little safer. We then made the corresponding cleat that would be attached to the wall. My dad just so happened to have an extra flooring laying around. He then spent the next 20 minutes explaining to me how to install this onto my wall, and he let me practice drilling and installing myself. Look, it looks great. I want it to be easily removable in case I wanted to repaint or clean any of the box. You'll then see us priming the box, which will cause us problems later on. I thought it'd be a brilliant idea to use a router to cut out the designs on the block, but the paint will be really sticky and the router will end up getting caught. But that's okay, because this project is for cats. So, funny story, we actually drew on the design on every panel except for the bottom, and it looked great. Then we got to the bottom and we realized we did it wrong. But that's okay, again, because it's for cats. I also wanted to leave the top panel blank so that it wouldn't impact the cats as they jump from one block to the other. After this point, we took another well-deserved break, had ourselves a fire, and made some s'mores. And then I threw the ball for Loki until my arm literally felt like it was falling off. All in all, we both learned a lot about this project and from building this first brick, and I'm actually really proud of how it came out, regardless of all the mistakes that we made along the way. Hey there! Thanks for taking the time out of your week to watch this video and join me on this journey. I'm really excited you decided to stay. I love building projects and it makes me really happy that I get to share it with you. If you'd like to check back for an update, I'm going to upload part 2 hopefully next week. Well, that's all for me for now, and I hope to see you soon. That's it. That's all, folks.